안녕하세요. I'm Jieun.
I'm Heecheol. We are dessert cafe owners in Korea. And this?
It's a day in a life.
This is Jieun and Heecheol, owners of a popular dessert cafe called Heecheol in Seoul, South Korea. They wake up at around 8 a.m., get ready, and go out for a walk with their dogs Yangpa and Ray. They walk their dogs around for 15 to 20 minutes every morning as the shop doesn't really get busy until the evening. Both their home and cafe are located in Mangwon-dong, which is a trendy area among young Koreans in Seoul. The cafe is only about 500 meters away from their house. They either walk or ride the electric bike to work, so the rush hours are not really a problem for them. They are stopping by the grocery store on the way to get some apples for breakfast. As the cafe opens at 10 a.m., they have around 30 minutes to get everything done to be ready for business. What are you guys writing down?
저희가 아침에 오면은 오늘 해야 될 것을 좀 정리해가지고 오늘 해야 될 일을 리스트를 만드는 거예요. 그래서 순서대로 일을 하려고.
First thing on the list is to adjust today's coffee machine settings. They say that depending on the day's humidity, temperature and other factors, the coffee may taste different even if you use the same beans and the same settings. So every morning they make around 2 to 5 espressos, do some tastings and adjust the settings for the day. They usually have a quick breakfast before opening. Today they are having apples, some bread and of course the fresh coffee that they just made. They are now open for business and have begun the cake production. In the morning, they usually prepare the cake bases and layer them later in the afternoon. Right now, Heecheol is making the chocolate sponge cake base. Heecheol is famous for its layered cakes with seasonal fruits. They sell both cake slices and whole cakes on order. Jieun is giving final touches to the cakes that will be picked up later in the evening and also preparing the cake slices for walk-in customers. Did you get any professional training in pastry or baking?
안 받았어요. 이런 케이크는 저희가 직접 만들고 하다 보니까 느는 거죠. 약간 어떻게 보면 집밥 같다고 했나? 그래서 저희 케이크를 제가 되게 홈메이드 케이크라고 얘기 많이 하거든요. 그래서 더 좋아해 주는 분들이 많은 것 같고, 그래서 또 다른 데랑 차별화가 되는 것 같아요. 그런 거는.
Heecheol has come to the Mangwon market because they were running low on some of the fruits. They do have a fruit supply that sends them the fruits that they need, but sometimes when they need them urgently, they go to the local market which is pretty close by. While we were out in the market, Soyeong has arrived. She is their employee who helps out in almost everything like assembling cakes, making the creams, preparing the fruits, coffee and everything. Jieun manages Heecheol's Instagram page and tries to post every day. Posting regularly on Instagram is a must for small businesses in Korea. Jieun usually posts to update the customers about today's cakes. On weekdays, there are only a few customers during the daytime. The busiest time is in the evening when people get off from work. Many people get whole cakes for birthdays and other special events from Heecheol. They usually pre-order cakes through their KakaoTalk channel, or by visiting, or just by calling directly. Jieun is now preparing a 2-layer choco chip cake that the customer will pick up later today in the evening. She is very generous with the choco chips. While Jieun is finishing up the choco chip cake, Heecheol is on to making another cake batter. Jieun and Heecheol have been married for around 6 years and have been running Heecheol together for almost 3 years now. After a few hours of non-stop work, they are now ordering some food before the evening rush begins. Do you always order food online?
항상 시켜가지고 포장해가지고 먹고 가끔 밥도 먹는데 사람들 좀 있을 때는 그 너무 센 냄새가 나는 음식을 먹기가 그러니까는 주로 샌드위치나 요거트 많이 먹거든요. 가게에서 샐러드 이런 것도 많이 먹고.
Heecheol went home for an hour to rest and walk the dogs. He will eat at home and then return to work. Jieun also went home for a break earlier as she needs to be well rested for the long evening ahead. As there are customers sitting in the cafe, they are discreetly eating their early dinner behind the counter. They moved their cafe to Mangwon-dong pretty recently, so they have been working 7 days a week with very little rest. Break time has ended and the evening rush has begun. In the evening, they usually prepare cakes that will be picked up the day after and restock shelf cakes as and when they run out. They sold most of the chocolate brownie strawberry cakes today, so now they're making the brownie base to restock. Oh, Heecheol is also back from his break too. Which cake are you most confident about?
저는 얼그레이 자몽 케이크? 그걸 제가 제일 자신 있게 하긴 해요.
Which is the best selling cake?
많이 팔리는 거는 초코 딸기 브라우니가 제일 잘 나가요.
Heeka has 16 cakes in the menu, and some of the fruit cakes are only sold when the fruit is in the season. They make all the cakes from scratch and do not use any pre-made ingredients. During the weekdays, they sell about 10 whole cakes a day, but on the weekends, they sell up to 50 cakes in a day. They usually end up working late every night as they put in a lot of time and care into every cake that they make. They sold another chocolate brownie strawberry cake. It is definitely the best seller. Heeka closes at 10, so they need to start cleaning up soon. Thankfully, they could finish all their work today on time. Heecheol is starting to clean up the coffee machine while the others are finishing up the last few cakes. They usually work for more than 12 hours every day. After closing, they will go back home, have something to eat, and spend time with the dogs. And this was a day in the life as dessert cafe owners in South Korea.